You're watching Dukascopy TV. I'm Elaine Stenson. November US retail sales data are out. Total retail sales were up 0.7%, ahead of consensus estimates of 0.6% growth. Excluding sales of autos, retail sales were up 0.4%. I'm joined on the line now by Vincent Cignarella from the Wall Street Journal. Vincent, the retail number is really important because it's one of the last pieces of major economic data ahead of next week's Fed meeting, which is of course the market's key focus, as expectations for the Fed to start tapering sooner rather than later are increasing. We've seen the data. Retail sales are up by 0.7% for November. What effect do you think that this data will have on the Fed's meeting?
Well, I mean, I think some people have estimates now, I think polls are something like 37% people think will taper in December. I personally think we're going to wait. Even though this is a good number and the numbers have been better since September, since they last met, I think they want to see a long series of strong numbers. You have to remember, this is a program that's been in the process for over 5 years. So to turn this ship, you would want to do it. You'd want a strong series of data, not simply say 6 months worth or so, or 3 months worth. It's certainly not a decision that they want to have to reverse. So they want to be very sure when they make that decision. But this is decidedly a good number. I mean, ex-auto number was definitely a surprise.
What kind of an impact do you think last week's jobs data is going to have?
Yeah, actually, on it, it reads a little bit different. It's unemployment claims were up, so it's not actually it's strong in a negative sense. It's more people have filed for unemployment claims, so that people are more people basically out of work. So that's sort of a mid factor against the retail sales. But again, it's a weekly number, and it stands to be revised quite a lot. So I don't know that people put that much salt into the weekly claims. In fact, the week prior was revised substantially. So one could expect that these claims will be revised as well the following week. So it's an indicator, but I think the monthly numbers are far more important. So I think as I look at markets right now, it seems to me that they're leaning more towards the retail sales number than the jobless number as to what they're trading on.
What factors led to such strong retail sales data?
The discounting, it's that time of the year. There was a delay in Thanksgiving came at the end of the month rather than sort of more towards the third week of the month. So I think that there was much more discounting on the part of retailers to try to get consumers in for the month of November. So I think that's what drove sales, and that drove the bargains drove the sales.
What are you expecting from the Fed's meeting next week, Vincent?
Honestly, not expecting a lot. I think there's definitely going to be conversation as to when the tapering will have to take place. I mean, it is a foregone conclusion. We can't stay this way. But I'm in the camp that the Fed will not throw a spanner in the works a week before Christmas, and that they'll want to let this year go by. Look at a few more numbers early on in the first quarter. I think the first quarter is going to be very, very important. What consumers do in the fourth quarter is people tend to shop with money that sometimes they don't have. So I think the first quarter will be very telling, and when folks sort of balance their checking accounts and see where the world is. And I think the Fed would want to give the economy one more quarter before they act.
And finally, Vincent, on the subject of the Fed, the former Bank of Israel head, Stanley Fischer, is said to be the leading candidate to replace Janet Yellen as vice chairman of the Fed when she is promoted to chairman. What are your thoughts on this?
I'm a big fan, actually. I would not have been unhappy at all had he were selected as the next chairman. He is a formidable person, former professor at MIT. Actually, I believe he was professor of both Mario Draghi and Ben Bernanke while he was there. So he has a tremendous amount of credibility. I think he will stay the course that's been set, but he provides a great anchor to that board.
Some strong credentials there, certainly, Vincent. Many thanks for joining me on the line today, as always. And that's all from me for now, but I will be back tomorrow with the Targets in Focus interview. Bye for now.